Amandla. Viva EFF, viva. Viva EFF, viva. Long live the spirit of no surrender, long live. Long live the spirit of no surrender, long live. Down with Pala Pala, down. Down with Ramaphosa, down. Thank you very much, comrades. We thought we must thank you for being militant and disciplined at the same time. You really stood your ground under very difficult circumstances, and we saw that the Speaker came prepared not to allow members of Parliament to exercise their democratic right. And as a result, this matter will be taken to court, because there is a constitutional court ruling that said members of Parliament must never be treated as a group. They should be treated as individuals. And members of Parliament, in terms of the rules, have to be called 3 times before they can be evicted. Some of us, our names were called and were told to leave the house, but we were not warned 3 times like they did with Zungula, which means there are rules which are under the carpet. They only get released when it is an EFF 10. So that cannot be left unchallenged. What happened today has to be declared unconstitutional, and this speaker must be held accountable. Secondly, members of police were inside Parliament. They were with a camouflage uniform, not only that, including the Presidential Protection Unit. When we were being pushed outside, the Presidential Protection Unit was in full swing on the stage, protecting the President, and the court made a very clear ruling that police are not allowed inside Parliament, because we must separate those powers, because we hold executive accountable, and if it is the police who keep the discipline, then they intimidate us not to hold the executive accountable. But we saw today police inside the chamber and pushing members of Parliament without being called by the Speaker, including the Parliamentary Protection Services. It entered the chambers without being called. When I went on the stage, the Speaker had not called the Parliamentary Protection Services. So it means they are a law unto themselves. I went on the stage. I was not singing. I carried a placard. I was protesting peacefully. Parliament is the highest stage of it. And the protest which is peaceful in South Africa is protected by the Constitution and cannot be a threat to Parliament. So all of that must be taken to court to be challenged. The media was harassed today. They are the ones who are complaining to us. They were not allowed to move. There were certain sections which were demarcated to them. When the commotion came, media has got the responsibility to cover that commotion and report to the country and the world. They were denied. We only see that under dictatorship. So this country has degenerated to dictatorship, and for the protection of one man, the executive is collapsed, the legislature is collapsed, the judiciary has collapsed. When a speaker enters Parliament unprovoked, instead of following the agenda of Parliament, she reads the rules to intimidate members of Parliament. You can see that she came with a predetermined agenda to intimidate members of Parliament. Every evidence is before us and the whole of South Africa. We must never be ashamed of protesting. What happened there, the worst could have happened, but we'll never retreat even when the worst happened, because we are a protest movement. And our responsibility is to raise the dissatisfaction of our people, and even when the worst happened, because we are a protest movement. And our responsibility is to raise the dissatisfaction of our people, and we did that today unashamedly. We're very proud of you, and I think many South Africans are grateful that there is an organization that can stand up to power and demand accountability. Many may pretend not to see, but over a period of time, history, when it gives an account, it will absolve all of you that there was a generation of freedom fighters which was not scared to hold the executive accountable. Even tomorrow, when we are called upon to do so by our people and our organization, will do so unashamedly and proudly so, without being scared. Phala Phala is not going to be swept under the carpet. Phala Phala is a crime scene. The president violated the laws of South Africa. If this parliament is going to use the majority to protect him, even if we are a minority, we'll always tell the truth. And the truth will never change, whether it is told by minority or the majority. We're happy to be on the side of the truth. And like I said, history will absolve all of us. Thank you very much, comrades. Those who are injured, I think the SG must make sure that they receive a proper medical attention, and those who were there to protect
the person. Honorable members, you are refusing to leave the house. Thank you. I now suspend the proceedings. I now suspend the proceedings. Security services, you may intervene. Security services of the Republic of South Africa, you now come into the chamber and remove the members. The business is suspended for the next 10 minutes. Honorable members, hold on. Business of the house. Animal out. Resume. Honorable members, the ladies of the PPS, honorable members, the ladies of the PPS, will you please remove the lady